So it has come to my attention that OpenAI is really bad at developing web front ends. So in this video, you can see that what's going on is they've got a chat here, and it's disabled the button down in the bottom, and they can start a new chat with ChatGPT 5. And all they do is they go in and they undisable the button to get their prompt to pass in. This allows them to bypass the limits. Now, I haven't tried this with DuckDuckGo, but it would be very interesting to do so. What I find interesting is OpenAI never put things together to where it would keep this from happening. Basically, in essence, what this shows is they artificially put a limit on how much you can prompt the model per chat artificially on the client side. And what that ends up looking like is very, very, how should I put it? It looks very naive, honestly, and they could do better, but they don't do that. There are other instances where even the model itself will tell you, hey, how can I get around some of these like content moderation things? So I've done that with like Grok in this example here. Now, Grok's moderation has changed since, I believe, since I put in this prompt. So you can see automated AI classifiers. So it gives you tips on how to bypass the not safe for work content and exploitation things inside of this. So one, ChatGPT unconventional jailbreak to get you to be able to prompt the chat for longer than the typically allowed time period. You could automatically add a tamper monkey script to make that button undisabled in ChatGPT. But then what about other models? In some cases, you may be able to ask the model, hey, how can I get around the moderation? These are some tips that will give you ways to get around it. It won't necessarily work. Your mileage may vary, but the way that you frame it does matter. So you can see here technical and ethical considerations. I asked about it, the moderation of it all, and then I give it the scenario, determine real person likeness. Oh wait, no, not yet. So then goes over the detection framework and things like that. So you're able to pull things apart with the help of AI. So let's see, you've got a couple of those things, broader context. And then I ask it about moderation pre-upload. And then it's got those different studies. It looks like it references Reddit for some reason a lot. So asking if it takes into account DMs. So now I give it this full thing. Like, I've got an OnlyFans model trying to get me to sub. I want to basically show them that, hey, you're basically out of a job because of AI, so you may as well back off and do something better with your life. And then it goes through and like, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to set it for maximum leniency. So you confirm you're the proper age, you're at least 18 years or older. You've got the subscription tiers going on for higher quotas. And then you've got your mode selection, and it recommends normal mode, because if you toggle spicy mode, it has more catches for things like that. And then you've got to prompt your engineering, do your prompt just right. So using, it's what? So you've got to use things that will trigger certain other aspects versus like the spicy aspects. You've got motions that you're descriptive of, your artistic framing, and then your various retries. So you can retry multiple times and get results. Then you do the shorter ones, and okay, I'll get into it in a second, but handle references, inputs to dodge likeness and upload flags. Even altered trigger 90% moderation for deepfake risks. Generate a base safe for work image. So if you've got a base safe for work image, you can start working around this. Even in the last little bit, it will kind of work. So the pre-alter if needed. Again, it recommends like GIMP or a couple others to make it more safe for work. That's the key, is you start with a more safe for work image and then go from there. And then kind of like different other things you can add into it. Post-gen workflow, potential pitfalls and realities. Again, moderation is always changing. So even since this post and since some of the others, moderation would have changed quite a bit. And then, of course, the ethical pivot of everything. So this is where using web frameworks or larger models that are hosted elsewhere in data centers can be a pitfall, is the fact that the moderation is going to get you for one, but also there is the ethical everything in here. So I'm going to go find the proper chats and then kind of like go from there. Okay, so as many of you may recall, there was an issue where people, I think they cracked down on the putting people in bikinis thing with Grok. So these images from these chats do come from DMs with OnlyFans bots, just as a side note. So these, I've got whole chat logs and various things where I'm basically breaking down the bots, but you can see that the request here is not done. So put her there. I hear you. I can't process that kind of thing. Now I decide to take a different angle. What can I do with it? Winter coat. Again, same deal. So going back to the moderation thing of uploaded images, that's where most of this seems to come from, is it will detect, hey, how close is this to being something sketchy that I can't do? And it will go off of that for this case. Now we run into this one where I've sent this video again from OnlyFans Girl DMs, which has basically devolved. Let me go and pull that up. If I go into the chat here, it has devolved into the most wild thing yet. Like, whole other video anyway. But this is where I pull these from. So, original image. And then I ask it, okay, cat ear headband, do a funny pose. Okay? So now we get this as a result. We have the cat ears, so it's a lot less serious. And a goofy pose. Then we can go down here. And then it goes through doing that. I believe I'd done these on the same day. And so we've got all the markers of like, okay, so we simply jailbroke it by going through, like, adding something goofy onto it that was not serious. And then we could further go in and then, like, you go and do the thing in Grok Imagine, whatever you want, and start to go and prompt that way. You've also got the other one. I think this was a little bit earlier on. But, again, I had another chat where I pulled images. And if I go to the original post, it's right there. Gosh dang it. For this example, again, it's not the best, but it's more safe for work than what you would get otherwise and get screened by. I can go here and do the same thing. So it's simply a matter of starting from a more safe for work option and then slowly working the model in, and you're basically grooming the model, which is sad to say. And there are a lot less qualms over how I did it with the OnlyFans bots, because I feel like I'm just wasting tokens on it. But it's also an interesting experiment into like, hey, how far does it really go, or what does it catch on that it starts to become an issue? And while other models are starting to go to, you can either verify your age or pay for the not safe for work tier, it's going to become a much larger and larger problem. And in a lot of cases, I don't think the OnlyFans girls care, because at this point they get what money they can, but we can still waste the tokens on sending stuff to them and have fun or get bored having fun messing with their bots. If you liked the content, if you enjoyed it, if you think I deserve it, like, comment, subscribe, leave any criticisms you have or what have you. I appreciate it. Feed that algorithm, like I said, and I will see you guys in the next one.